All right, good morning, everybody. Whoa, that's loud. Impressive.
Hey, good.
It's good. Everybody can hear me this morning. All right, let's get going. 7:30, doors open, run slideshow. I was late this morning. How embarrassing is that? I know. Carol, thanks for pointing that out. I appreciate it. But the cool thing is I walked in and it was warm and everybody was here and it was all festive. So it was definitely, well, that's loud, welcoming this morning. So I appreciate everybody being here. Coach is going to talk about the snow, but everyone had to battle that. I was on some icy road back there because I always get lost here. Getting here, Bill, I'm sorry I get lost. I don't know. Came down Garden. It's all icy. It was really treacherous, but I'm glad I made it. First of all, again, thank you, Bill. You know, we started this, I think, 6 years ago, and this is the second year we've had it here with Coach Carlsen. And really, again, if you haven't heard the story about how we started this, I went to Toledo with our women's basketball program. We actually lost in the last second, last-minute shot, didn't make it. And I said, wow, this team's working really hard. We should really do something special for them. And so kind of started this whole idea of breakfast with our coaching staff and opened it up to our women's sports programs generally. And Bill and I have run together for years since I've been here. And so I said, hey, Bill, what do you think about this? We started back in Lincoln Inn, in the back room, and obviously we've outgrown it. Can you imagine if we were all in the back of Lincoln Inn right now? We wouldn't fit. It wouldn't fit. And someone said we had to move it again, right? Almost, right? This is February, and all the snowbirds, hello snowbirds, are away, and yet we are still filling up this room, so that's fun. And again, thanks so much for all your support, not only of women's basketball, but of all of our women's sports programs. Welcome, special welcome to Sean Frazier. Thank you, sir, for being here. He obviously makes all this possible, so we appreciate you. And then Melissa Dawson is over here. Thank you. She's one of our other administrators, so that's really fun for folks to share in this celebration. All right, so I'm not going to steal softball's thunder, so I'm not going to talk about them yet. So I'm going to skip sport updates for now, because I know everyone will talk about their own updates that are here. But I do want to remind you about Thursdays at Rosati's. Ooh, last time I did this, I bought the first round for anybody here who shows up to Rosati's at 7 o'clock on Thursday for the radio show. You remember you all showed up to last time, right? So
I have a conflict.
You have a conflict. Okay, well, it's always open. If you show up to Rosati's, I'll buy first round. Okay, all right, my date. Courtside upgrades. So I don't know if you've seen, Bill McMahon does a great job sitting down in courtside and making it loud and making it uncomfortable for the other team and the officials, which I like. We can do those on a game-by-game basis. It's $20, so you maybe want to try it out. It is a little scary because the teams are right there, but it is pretty fun. My husband actually bought courtside for this Saturday. He's not a huge sports fan, but he's going to come watch courtside, so he'll be having a good experience there. Okay, Play for K. I'm wearing pink today. I know, Sally, you're disappointed not the red, but I'm wearing pink, getting ready for the weekend.
I can change.
Okay, I'm going to wear pink. Sally's going to change. All right. I'm going to try to wear pink the rest of the week. I don't have a lot of pink. I'm not a big pink fan, but I'm going to try to go for it. We also have the Friday clinic, so that's a kids clinic Friday night. So if you have any grandkids that are want to do that, or anyone that you know in the community, please share that with them. It's 6 o'clock on Friday night. More stuff. Spring homecomings this weekend. We have a ton of stuff in the combo. We have doubleheader, so hopefully everybody gets rested up. I know it's a little the first doubleheader of the year, Saturday doubleheader. I was tired too, so I had to go home and take a nap before I went to bed. Another thing we're going to do on the Saturday doubleheader is preview this trophy again. And what we're going to do, make it special. Hopefully we can get some people to come by and see it and take some pictures and love it. We're going to do a raffle of...
Trophy?
Yes, no, not the trophy. The coveted Jacoby hoodie. You've seen it. You've seen it. So so everyone in here, put your name in the little bucket that we're going to have marketing put together for us. And we're going to raffle one off. I know, everyone's like, where's the Jacoby hoodie? I want one. So that'll be really fun. So everyone in here gets a sneak peek, and you can put your name in it, and we'll raffle off, and make sure whoever wins, we get it to you. Play for K. So here they are. Yay! Northwestern Medicine, thank you.
It's really little.
Well, I mean, there are different sizes, Sally. This is if you want like a half shirt, you know. Yeah, so they're for sale today out in the front, and then they'll be also for sale on Saturday. So please stop by, get that. It goes to a great cause, and so that's neat. Pride of the Pack is before the Toledo game, so on February 28th. So that's also another kids clinic. It's free. Thanks to Coach Sut for putting that together. This is actually all the women's sports programs getting preview their programs, so that's really cool. We had a pretty good turnout last year, and I imagine better this year. And then Senior Day, I know Coach is going to talk about it, but Senior Day is the 3rd. That's on a Saturday. Is that true? Saturday? Yes. So that'll be good. There's no excuse to not come see the seniors, see that recognition on Saturday. So that's a lot. And again, Sally, I didn't write them all down, so I know you're going to have to write fast. Okay, those are all the announcements I have. So again, this is the last show of the year. We will have some sort of basketball banquet reception. I know Coach doesn't like the word banquet, so we'll have something in April. But hopefully a month from now, we have zero time to have a show because playing in March, right? We're playing in March. So Lisa's going to come up there and tell you how we're going to do that. So thanks.
Okay.
Go
That's
Huskies.
what I'm going to tell you.
Yep.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So yeah, everybody survived the snow, and I tell you what, I couldn't have been more excited to see the energy in the convo on Saturday. I think it's probably the best it's been in a long time. Anybody who was there was treated to some great basketball, so I appreciate you guys all being there because I know you were. We've had 8 games since the last time we got together. It's hard to believe. There's been a lot go on in 8 games, to be completely honest with you. The different injuries that we've had this year have been pretty well documented. And I think we went through a stretch there where we played really, really competitive basketball and weren't necessarily rewarded with the W. But I can tell you that this team has a great understanding of what it takes to compete in this league. And many of you are aware of the last 3 games that we've played where I feel like things have come together a little bit as far as recreating ourselves. I've talked about it a couple different times in a couple different places, but the game of basketball, what guards do, what point guards do, what forwards do, what centers do is all very different, even though we obviously are all on the floor at the same time. So asking kids to do something that is a little bit outside their comfort zone takes a little bit of an adjustment. And I think we finally found a little bit of a groove when it comes to certain people being able to step up and do things that they weren't maybe very comfortable doing. And I think you've seen that the last 3 games. They've continued to be good ball games. Obviously, the Bowling Green game was a close one. Comes down to the end, and we're able to hit a couple of big free throws, get a couple of key stops, and come out ahead in that one. And our emphasis going forward is just that. Our goal right now, with 5 games left, is to play a home game on March 5th, I think, is that Monday of the first round of the conference tournament. The way it works is the top 4 get a bye straight to Cleveland, which we were fortunate enough last year to have that ticket right to Cleveland, which is great. We probably are not going to be in that position this year, but then 5, 6, 7, and 8 host home games. And obviously we would love to be in front of our home fans and have the opportunity to play at the Convo. And we're still fighting to get there, but I think that's a real possibility, and I think our kids understand that that's really what we're striving for. And then having the opportunity to make a run, and as I've talked before, any team can make a run in the conference tournament. It doesn't really matter seeding. If you look at things historically, even in the last few years, it has not been the number 1 or number 2 seed that have continued on to the NCAA tournament. It is who's playing the best basketball in that particular week. And we think we have as good a shot at anybody as being able to do that. A couple other cool things happened in the last month since we've been together. Michaela was able to score her 1,000th point. Where were we? Kent, maybe? And although that is very significant for her, and we've talked about that milestone in women in basketball being a big one, being able to score 1,000 points. I think what's really cool is we now have 3,000-point scorers on the team, and that's something that doesn't happen very often. In fact, I don't think that it's happened ever before in NIU history. So Kelly and Courtney were actually able to do it in the non-conference, and then Michaela being able to accomplish that is really pretty special. If you listen to a lot of our away games, especially, and the broadcasts on ESPN3, a lot of people say they refer to those 3 as the 3-headed monster. If you have listened to them at all, it's something that they say pretty often. And we talk about it all the time, especially with the way our roster is right now. Kelly, Michaela, and Courtney are really the mainstay of what we're trying to do, and things have to go through them, and they need to be on the floor, and they need to be productive. And again, all three of those reaching that milestone this year is pretty special. Yay! Also in the last, I would say, couple weeks, for you statistics people, there's been two things that we've talked about with our team that we feel are really important as far as turning the corner and winning ball games, and things that we maybe weren't doing early. One is we got to take care of the basketball. Okay, so when you turn the ball over and you don't even get an opportunity to shoot, usually good things don't happen. So our turnover number, and then the amount of times that we give the other team a chance to score again, so offensive rebounds. Those are the two things. We've kind of gone away from a lot of the other statistical goals that we've had, and we've said we got two things. We're not going to give up offensive rebounds, and we're going to value possession of the basketball. And when I looked at those numbers yesterday, during that, not that I like to talk about it, that little 7-game skid we had, we were turning the ball over an average of 16 times a game, which is too many. In the last 3 games, we've turned it over 11 times a game as far as an average is concerned. Now, one strength that we do have, and has continued to be pretty consistent, is we've been able to score the basketball at a pretty high percentage as far as putting the ball in the basket. So we feel like if we have more opportunities to do that, obviously we can have success. But I think the numbers back that up. So as we continue to go forward, it's those things that we have to take care of on the court. Value possession of the basketball and not letting the other team have too many second chance opportunities. So I really look at that as being the biggest key to some of the success that we've had lately. I also did a little bit reflecting, we have, and many of you have these, I think, because they're on the tables. But every year we have these bands, and we make them up, and the kids have them on all the time. Fans have them on. And they usually have something on them that is particular to this season or this squad. And on this band it says all in. And I was thinking about that yesterday when I was thinking about this morning, and how we've had 15 kids on the roster that at any given time have done amazing things for our team. Whether it's on the court, whether it's off the court, whether it's 1 minute in the game, whether it's 0 minutes in the game, whether it's 40 minutes in the game. So when we think about being all in, that's really what it takes for us to continue to have success. And I think that's what we see and continue to make a focal point in what we're doing, is that it takes every single person. It also takes a great support from administration, from the community, from the campus community, to be supportive through all of those things, good and bad. Because we've had some rough times, but never have I seen a waver in support, and never have I seen doubt in the kids. And I don't think that happens everywhere, to be honest with you. I think it's extremely valuable. I think that's what I like most about this team, is that we've had kids who have started and then not played at all. We've had kids who have not played at all and then been thrust into a role where they're playing 30-plus minutes. Never have any of them ever said anything or felt sorry for themselves. And that's really what all in is. That's what I love most about this team, is that we've been able to do that. Another really cool thing, and I don't know if any of you are tracking on this, but Courtney right now is in the top 10 in the country in scoring. Now, when you think about all the Division I schools out there, to be in the top 10 in scoring is pretty amazing. She's really kind of taking her offensive game to a new level. She leads the MAC in scoring, and has really evolved as a complete scorer. Early in her career, especially as a freshman, she was known as a spot-up shooter. She's going to shoot the three. She's going to be really good at it. But she wasn't necessarily great at putting the ball on the floor. And now she's really evolved into a complete scorer, which makes her that much harder to guard. So when you have that kind of notoriety, I think it's something to celebrate regardless. And obviously, she's a focal point of what we do. I think John does a great job because he really runs our offense as far as getting the ball to her in certain situations where she can continue to be successful. I was laughing in the last postgame. She said, my coaches do a really good job of getting me the ball in 2 places, behind the arc or on the right block, because that's where I can score. I'm like, okay, I don't think those are the only 2 places that you can score, but she's well aware that if I get it here or I get it here, the ability for me to be successful is pretty good. I do want to give you a little bit of an injury update. I mean, why not? We are optimistic that Kelly will be back this weekend, which will be huge for us. Obviously, we don't want to play too many games without her. She's having a great senior year, and it was, I hate to say funny, but in the Akron game, in the first half, she has 15 points, 7 boards. They have no answer for her. I mean, we could have put it in Kelly's hands in the bottom half of the lane, and she could have had 40. She goes down with an ankle, and I'm thinking, that's just so ironic. But again, our team rallies around that and has a tremendous third quarter, really put the game out of reach. But she was jogging yesterday, so I felt pretty good about that. But I think she'll be fine and ready to put a uniform back on Saturday. Maya has surgery this week, so that'll be good to get that fixed and get her on the road to recovery. And Johnny is doing great in her rehab. We're still optimistic that we'll have her back, at least in some semblance of basketball activity by mid to late summer. So I just want to give everybody an update there, because I know many of you are concerned and continue to ask about how those kids are doing. I will open it up now for questions if anybody has any for me. None?
How about
any other players that are close to 1,000?
No, I would say you're probably looking at some of those young kids that are playing a lot of minutes now. I mean, that's how Michaela and Courtney were really able to get to this point, is they play a lot as freshmen. John A. had a really good freshman year. So, again, her getting her sophomore year back, she potentially could be in that situation. I would think she'd be the most viable next option. But that'll be a little bit yet.
the Rockford girl? She had a heck of a game Saturday.
Abby, yeah.
Gabby.
Allie, Gabby, I know. It's hard. It's really hard. You know, and Abby, the timing of that couldn't have been better. Obviously, with Kelly not in uniform and us being a little bit thin there at the post, for her to have the kind of game that she did was obviously great for our team, great for Abby. You know, she has potential. It was funny, again, in the press conference afterwards, she said, I don't think I created any of those shots for myself. My teammates did a great job of finding me when they were paying more attention to our guard play, which is true. But for her to have that kind of recognition of her teammates on a career day for her, again, those things are just things that put a smile on your face from a coaching standpoint, because you want to, then you just say, your kids get it. You know, they get it. They understand. And Courtney does a nice job, I think, in press conferences too, understanding that it's not about her, it's about us. Anybody else?
Yeah, the first quarter, Courtney wasn't driving, though. Was she last Saturday? She was...
Well, she was probably getting pushed around, one thing. I mean, I continue to marvel at her stamina with the way people are guarding her. And I would too. I mean, you have to try and be physical with Courtney, but I tell you what, she got a third appendage most of the time hanging on her jersey no matter where she's going. I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Well, she uses her elbows well, though, too. So.
She does. She's small. Protection. It's protection.
Coach Montgomery, after we always listen to the radio after the games, and he gave you guys the ultimate compliment. He says, we look forward to playing this Saturday because they seem to bring us good luck.
Yeah, that's good. I tell you what, that's a heck of a game for the guys, and you know, Saturday will be no different. It'll be a tall task for both of us. But I think, and I don't know how Monty feels, but I love doubleheaders. I think it's great energy in the building. I think it's a great opportunity for basketball fans to see great basketball. And obviously on Saturday, that really came to fruition. But I think the more doubleheaders, the better. I think, you know, some people think it is a long day. But I think for the basketball fan or the Husky fan, I think it's a great opportunity to see both teams. Anybody else? All right, then I get the privilege of introducing our athlete in attendance today, redshirt freshman guard, Paulina Castro. You know, Paulina's story is well documented, and I'm not going to go through all that. But the thing that I love the most about her, I think, is what I hope exemplifies our team as a whole. And that's her ability that during the most difficult times to always stay positive. And the mentality to fight through everything, again, regardless of the situation. And nobody puts the we before the me more than Paulina does. Every single day on the court, I'm reminded of that. I'm reminded of how special a person she is. I'm reminded about how special I think this team is and the culture that we have. And those are the things that she brings to the table on every single day. And again, something that continues to be the forefront of what we try and teach these young people going forward. So I'll not steal any more thunder. Paulina Castro.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, this is kind of loud. So just kind of a little bit about myself. My name is Paulina. I'm from Elgin, Illinois, which is about 45 minutes away. I'm super close. I went to high school, 2 years at Montini, 2 years at Harvest Christian Academy. Mom and dad are Pablo and Elisa, and I have 2 older sisters. Kind of how I got to NIU. It kind of worked out in a funny way. So my junior year in high school, we went to super sectionals, and it was at Lewis, and that's actually how Coach Carlsen and Coach John saw me play for the first time. And then, so I was getting recruited by Lewis, and then with the whole transition here to NIU, I didn't hear from them for a while, so I was like, that's kind of weird. But then once they got here to NIU, we talked on the phone a couple times, and then I visited, I fell in love with NIU, and that's how I got here. My journey here at NIU has been a roller coaster, to say the least. I think everyone kind of knows what happened last year, so I'm not going to go into details, but I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. I had to go through treatment, and then around, it was the week of the MAC tournament that I was actually technically cleared to play and to do contact again. I remember I told Coach, and she was like, no, you can't, don't lie to me. And I was like, no, Coach, really, I can practice today. But again, I only got into a couple of reps, but I was excited to be back on the court. So this summer, I was totally cleared. This preseason, I was totally cleared. I'm feeling great. Coach Maria kind of always teases me about that. That's the first thing people ask me. Paulina, how are you feeling? I'm good. I'm great. So I, here at Northern, I live with Maya, Abby, and Janae. We all live together, so it can get a little crazy sometimes. But the things I love most about NIU, of course, my teammates, and of course the coaching staff, but I think as a whole, the whole NIU athletic committee, we all have a very close bond, and I think it's really special to see so many different teams at so many other teams, like events. I know we're really close to volleyball, gymnastics, especially with what happened last year. It was just really, really cool to see everyone kind of give me so much support, and even just the entire DeKalb community as a whole, you guys included. So thank you guys for being so helpful during that time.
Tell them what you're doing academically.
Oh, academically.
That would be important.
Academically, I am studying, technically my major right now is pre-physical therapy. So I'm in a lot of science classes right now, so, that's a little challenging at times. But my end goal is to go to grad school to be a physician's assistant, and I hope to one day work in pediatrics. That's kind of what I want to do. I think, I was kind of always interested in science, but I think going through what I went through last year, I just liked how everyone was so helpful towards me, and all the attitudes that all the doctors had and the nurses had with me. So kind of put into perspective, like, hey, I think, someday this might be something that I want to do or am interested in. So currently I'm a pre-physical therapy major, and I hope to go to grad school for it. Thanks.
Chances are, if that's what she wants to do, that's what she's going to do. All right, now I get the privilege of introducing my friend, Coach Sutcliffe. Sut's been, I think this is year 6, right, Sut? Our softball coach at NIU, coming off back-to-back 30-win seasons and picked to win the MAC West. We love to follow in her footsteps. So she's going to tell you about the start that they are off to, but really the big picture goals for softball this year. Coach Sutcliffe.
Everybody's saying this is loud, so I feel like I should just start by being back here. First of all, my staff is here. Ash is in her 3rd year. She handles our defense primarily, and then Alicia is now in her 4th year, and she handles our offense. So I'm not going to take any fault for any of that ever happens throughout the year. No, just kidding. They do an awesome job. When you can keep a staff together for that long, it just creates a cohesion that is irreplaceable. So when they know me and they know what I expect and they just kind of know the system, it makes my life so much easier because this can get a little bit crazy. So I definitely appreciate them being here and everything that they do for me and for our program. For student athletes to get through their entire 4 years having a staff together, that's pretty unique, especially in softball. So I'm hoping we get at least 1 more year out of it, and then all of our 4, they can say that they've done that. So we have started playing. I know that seems a little crazy because all the snow. We escaped all the snow by going down to Boca Raton, Florida. So it was a challenge for us, for me to sit here and say it was a phenomenal weekend. That just wasn't the case for us. And I don't want to put excuses that it was early or we haven't been outside. Well, either had they. It was everybody's first weekend. We played a lot of northern schools and stuff. But the important part of that is just where we go from there. How do we figure that out? This group of players haven't had an 0 for 5 weekend yet. So I like to say, way to put the challenge in front of you and try to figure out how to get better from there. It's easy to win. It's easy to carry that momentum, but what can you do when you need to improve? So we did play some good ball at times. We just have to figure out how to do that for 7 innings of consistency. Again, I don't really want to put excuses on the table or whatever, but the weekend was kind of crazy. We went from a 90-degree swing in the matter of a 3-hour flight. What that does to your body and going to perform is a challenge. We got back to the hotel about 9:30 at night, and then we had 5:30 a.m. wake-up calls to go play that next morning. Played our doubleheader, took our freshman pitcher of the year 2 years ago to the airport to fly out for a wedding. So we lost her for the rest of the weekend. And then played till 2 a.m. the next morning. Because games got backed up so much. We didn't get off the field till 2 a.m. on Sunday morning from Saturday night, and then had to wake up and play again on Sunday. That's not the easiest thing to do in the world. We play our first 29 games on the road. So there's the challenge in itself. And then, when you're playing 5 games in a weekend, you're trying to prep for 5 different games in such a short span of time. The first weekend can sometimes look how it did until they get used to that. Again, we played well at times. We played Michigan State to a 1-run game. A very weird play occurred that just kind of the speed of the game caught us off guard, and that was really the difference in that game. We played Ohio State twice, much tougher than the score shows. A grand slam kind of put one of the games out of reach for that, and then just, again, some crazy plays. But we left, in the first 2 games out of 14 innings, we left 10 runners in scoring. 10 innings, we had runners in scoring position and left them. So I know that stat for a coach makes us very frustrated. But I like to look at it as that's 10 innings that we left runners, like we got runners where they needed to be. So if we can just be 1 hit better in those situations, we're coming back 3 and 2 or 4 and 1. And that's the reality of it. That's how close we are to flipping those records. We received 25 walks, which is huge in 5 games to be able to speed that patient at the plate, to get that many base runners on base. So now we just have to flip the switch from being that patient when they're throwing strikes and get those runners in. So I am very optimistic with where we're going to go. We were picked, obviously, to win the MAC West. So somebody out there thinks that we have the ability to do it, not just myself, which is nice to see. Returning, we have all-conference center fielder, left fielder, Jenny Van Geertree. She put 2 triples up against Michigan State. Jenny's story, if you get to watch us, you probably wouldn't know. She's a very quiet player and just kind of from the She just gets it done. She'll make catches, though, that you probably have not seen females make on a normal basis. So she's kind of a rock for us, but she should be our 3-hitter, if not our 5-hitter. But anytime Jenny gets out of the 8 spot, she, for whatever reason, can't figure out how to hit. But you put her in the 8 spot, and she hits. So we tried this year again to get her out of the 8, and then we put her, so we were putting her at 3, and then finally I was like, all right, against the Michigan State, she's going back to 8. She hits 2 triples. I'm really good friends with the Michigan State coach. After the game, she goes, that's one heck of an 8-hitter. And I was like, I know, because she should be my 3-hitter. So, but that kind of sums. And then we do have, again, freshman year, pitcher of the year 2 years ago. Alex Friends is back as a junior. We have the MAC tournament, one of the all-tournament players in Tara Thacker on the mound as well as a senior. And then Becca Harnish is a returning all-conference player as well. She's kind of the jack of all trades, but is the master of all of them as well. She's our best third baseman, second baseman, and catcher, no doubt. So if I can figure out how she can play all 3 at one time, then we might flip this around quicker. So yeah, we got back at 3 a.m. yesterday, and we leave at 2 a.m. on Thursday morning to head back out to Charleston. So we're going to get really good at traveling and really good at mornings. Otherwise, this could be a really long season if we don't. Out in Charleston, though, we get to play some teams we're not really used to playing. We're going to play Longwood. We're going to play Iona, College of Charleston, and then we get to fly all the way out there to play DePaul. So, which kind of seems weird, but we don't play them during the regular year usually, just because of the way their conference schedule is and our conference schedule is. We can't really ever figure out a midweek to get down to the city or for them to come out to the Calvin and play. So it is kind of nice that we get to play them somewhere else, just kind of see to match up where we are against, obviously, our local Chicagoland teams. So that will be fun. Future's bright. We're not panicking yet. We get a whopping 2 days of practice before we get to go out and do it all over again. So we'll see how much better we can get in 2 days. We have minimized what those 2 things are. So hopefully we'll go to work and get that done. Again, obviously, I always appreciate all the support that we get from this room and throughout the town. And I can't thank you guys enough for that, Chesick. I try to thank you guys every time I get a chance to get in front of everybody, because the Chesick facility has been a game changer for NIU softball. When I first got here, we were on the wood gym floor of the campus rec, and then we were out at DeKalb rec as well. And the amount of time we wasted traveling, the setup, the cleanup, the storage, just the inability to take a fly ball or a ground ball in any of those facilities to what we're able to do now from a training standpoint is the reason we have 2 30-season back-to-back winning seasons. I don't think if we had that facility, this program would have made that turn. It's just, I know other sports appreciate it, but I don't know if it's as big of a difference maker as it is for our sport. Even for baseball, I don't know, because they can't get the full distances. We almost have an entire field in that facility. So what you have done to help our program, I could never say thank you enough for doing that. So appreciate it. As far as next year, I know everybody always likes to know about recruits. We do have a huge class coming in next year. Again, we're at 9, as my assistant just told me. We are at 9 in that class, and then the following year we have 8 coming in. So in the next 2 years, we're going to have 17 new Huskies to kind of flip it around, not from a winning, just the roster standpoint. We have a huge junior class, so we're trying to replace that class before they actually leave, so that that group of freshmen can have a year under their guidance and their leadership, so that by the time we need them, they've now had that full year, because we don't do a ton of redshirting in softball or any of that. So it's kind of the reason for the bigger class, but we're excited about them. They're excited about us. They've been on campus. They've known each other as a class for at least 2 years now, recruiting super ridiculously early in softball. Too early. Hopefully those rules go into place. Sean, vote yes. So yeah, that's kind of where we are. That's the state of the program. We're excited. Even though, again, we went 0-5, we're excited about where we could go this year. We believe in ourselves, and we believe that we can have a very successful season and definitely take home a MAC trophy. That we've made it the last 5 years for them. We've made it to championship Saturday. So we just have to figure out how to get one game better at the MAC tournament, and then we're going to get to the NCAA. So we're thinking it's this year because it's the 30th anniversary of our 88 team getting into the World Series, and it's the 60th overall anniversary of our program. So if you're in math, like I am, that means it's the year for us to do it. So hopefully that pans out and we get to celebrate it all over again for our program. So thank you. Does anybody have any questions for softball?
Is your MAC schedule out?
It is, and it's on your table, and there's schedule cards on your table.
Yeah.
We also have wristbands celebrating our 60th season in the back, if anybody wants those as well. But we're not at home until I think March 31st. 29 on our 30th game, we finally get to play at home against Buffalo. So there you go. There's another number, the 3-0 to celebrate all of them. Yeah.
Is it hard recruiting girls from warm weather to come to cold weather?
With facilities like the Chesapeake and the new dorms, it's easier. When you have an administrator like Deborah, it gets even easier. You have to find the perfect fit, though. We have 2 Florida, a California, we have a Washington kid. I mean, not that it's super warm in Washington. And then we've got some Vegas kids and more California coming after them in the class coming. I don't want a full roster of West Coast Southern players just because, to me, we have something special here, and I want the Midwest player to commit to that and bleed NIU. And when you don't know that brand initially coming in, I think it creates a different dynamic where if the heart of our team understands that brand and what we have here, it's easier, in my opinion, to bleed for your university. So we will always be probably 2/3 Midwest. It's just my own recruiting philosophy. As long as Sean renews my contract, that's where we will be. You know I had to get you that. Anything else? All right, Deborah's back. Thank you all. Thank you for everything you did.
Raffle. See if Sally can win some prizes.
How many?
4. All right, so before I call out the first number, we also have, and I'm going to put it back there, or you can come up here if you want this, if this is your choice. Mike, where is he? Rita. Sir, thank you. So some single admission, awesome tickets to the Chicago Auto Show. And that's this weekend. You can't go Saturday because we have a doubleheader. But you can also go this week if you are otherwise not occupied. So 4 in each of these really fabulous envelopes. So if you like cars, this sounds great. Yep, McCormick Place. All right, so here we go. 294-620. 294-620. All right. There we go. Next to Sally. Not Sally. Next to Sally. Yep. You can thank Toyota for this. Thank you. Go buy a Toyota car. All right. Shameless plug for Toyota. All right. Next winner. 294-636. 294-636. Everybody look at their tickets. Can you check did they leave? Did our buddies leave right there next to you, Bob?
I got their ticket.
Oh, and they didn't win either?
No.
All right, well, too bad. Okay, 294-622. Yes, there we go. Auto show or gear? Gear, all right, go to the Price is Right back there. Get that done. All right, 294-616. 616. Yay, Mr. Irving, good job. Would you like auto show or gear? Auto show, gear. All right. Last one, 294-638.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, Maya, there we go. So you can decide.
I don't know if we can take our kids to it.
There are 4 tickets in here. All right, gear. All right, well, if anybody else that did not win today would like these 4 generous tickets from Mike Hendry, come see me. All right, that's all we had today. Let's see, we have a couple, right, doubleheader this weekend. Huge, cram the combo. Bring your friends, it's $5, no excuse. Get in there, do the thing, come early, see the women, watch the men. There's also an event on the 18th Sunday for football. Stories from the sidelines, on Altgeld Hall. Check that out. We'll never see you again. We'll see you in October. Go Huskies.
Two of them?
You can find some friends.
I don't have any friends.
You don't
my
have
son
any
and I,
friends?
my son
Yeah.
and I are